Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening, Raider Nation. Wow. Second game of the preseason down already. 2-0. 2-0. Sad Rams. Yeah. We got a lot to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen. What I always find fascinating at this time, the most important part that we all are thinking about, that includes every single body for every team, all positions. It's who's going to make the squad. We're going from 90 to 53 basically overnight. That's going to be tough. I can tell you right now, I think we will absolutely let go of two starters somewhere. Um I think we'll have two people that we let go end up starting somewhere else at some point throughout the season. Absolutely. That's the type of talent we have in certain positions, and we'll get to that later on in the show, of course. But yeah. First things first. Let's talk about this Rams game. Um, would you like? Would you hate? Um, I'll start. What did I like? I like the fact that we won. I like the fact that I believe we have a quarterback, Raider Nation. I really believe we have a quarterback. I like the fact that our defense absolutely looks completely different. And that's a great thing. That's a fabulous thing. That's an awesome thing. That's fantastic. There's so much uh, going on that I absolutely like. What I don't like is the fact that we're going to let go of some starters. I don't like that at all. I don't like the fact that, we got to go to Donkey Land first game of the season. That's a whole nother conversation. Uh, we'll talk about that when the week comes up, of course, right after our final preseason game here in good old Dallas, Texas, which I will be absolutely going to. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump away. So how could I not go to this game? Check us out. Check out who really wants it. I was reading something today where everybody was talking about and referring to preseason games not really meaning anything. It doesn't matter, right? Kudos to the Commanders, right? They knocked off the Ravens as far as having that win streak as far as preseason is concerned. But excuse me, I absolutely think people need to view preseason games just a little bit differently. I see that the draft's picking up. It's more exciting than ever as far as right people attending, the locations, the way they set things up for it. It's amazing, and the same thing is absolutely going on and moving forward now when it comes to preseason, and for a good reason, in my opinion, based on if you really drill down into your team. Bottom line is these guys that are fighting to make this team are the guys that's gonna help you win. It's the good old saying: you're only as good as your weakest link. At some point, you best believe everybody, all 53 people are going to have to play at some point, right? I wonder what the stats are on that, but I would bet a lot that all 53 end up playing some plays at some point. Obviously, not a lot for some and pretty much all for others, but I can assure you at some point throughout the season, you are going to need those 53. And the reality is that is what the preseason is for a lot of that roster, right? It's 90 plus that we start with, which is what we still currently have right now. I mean, I see we still adding people. Somebody falls off, we pick another person up, but we're what, 2 weeks away from making that final 53. And these people are playing their heart out. Uh, the biggest guy that comes to mind for me was Walter, and unfortunately, he blew his knee out and he's lost for the season. But that kid, he absolutely played like his whole entire life depended on it. In my opinion, I mean, he was outstanding. He's been outstanding since he's been on the team. There's a reason he's still on the team. A lot of people, right? He's not right. The kid can ball, and he's got some major heart, and he leaves everything out there. I was really upset for him when he got injured, but yeah, he'll be back. I think that kid is good, but yeah, these guys are playing for a position. This last game matters more than anything. It literally is the difference between making the 53-man roster and not. I think we all understand the difference between the type of eating you're going to do on both sides of those fences. And you absolutely would much rather want to make that 53-man roster. So we should start giving the preseason games a little more respect. I always have, honestly. In fact, I think this is where you start to find gems. Uh, Back when I was growing up, it's also the time for your team to get prepared for the season. And I think you're going to start seeing that a little bit more as time goes on, right? Because people understand, hey, Mahomes plays first preseason game. Uh, that stuff matters. I think you need that time with your team in real action against somebody else with right refs, etc. That is really going to put you to the test before the real game starts, and it'll help. It'll absolutely help. Jimmy G got out there, uh, drove the ball down, 4 for 4, right? Touchdown. Can't be mad at it. I was shocked they put him out there. Yeah, I think they're looking at it the same way. I think they realized they made a mistake last year by not putting Carr and company out there, right? So who knows? You live and you learn. I like what I'm seeing. More than anything, the defense is absolutely outstanding. Shout out to the Raiders D. They are absolutely playing lights out football. I believe we haven't had a touchdown scored on us other than the pick six that was thrown by Hoyer. And then whoever dropped, what was it, a Meek, Shelley? I forget which one dropped that ball in the end zone that should have been an interception and ended up being a touchdown. Those are only two you know, TDs we've had on us all season. I mean, it's preseason, but I mean, this stuff actually does matter. It does matter because once again, these guys that are out there playing, not only are they playing for that position, but they will be playing throughout the season. So you better believe you want to see good productivity. You want to see guys that you want to keep. You want these guys out there playing their hearts out because they are absolutely going to have to play come season. And I think that's very important. And a lot of people probably forget about that. You don't realize, right? You're only as strong as your weakest link. That's literally in the game of football because I'll tell you right now, I know Raider Nation, you guys hate it, but bottom line is the way the Patriots have played for the last, 2 decades is next man up. And I have no problem repeating that. I have no problem going back to next man up, whatever you want to call it, because that's facts. That's what you need. And that's what these preseason games are for. So, yeah, let's get back to making sure these things are important as far as how we need to evaluate and, really start making some good assumptions on what's going to happen, right, for the season to come. So, yeah, game. Jimmy G played. Happy about it. I think he did a great job. Knocked the rust off as they've been reporting, if you will. Hasn't played in a while, but looked good. Offensive line looked good. They were holding their own. And don't get me wrong, we had some issues, right? That luckily Jimmy's getting the ball out of his hands. Doing the right things to avoid sacks and problems based on blown assignments, if you will, or just sheer ability on defending against whoever it is that's in front of you on that D line, which can be tough for anybody every single play. So yeah, a couple of places we could have cleaned up, I would say, on that line. It's been that way for a while, but clearly way better than in the past. The young rookie, our tight end, good game, but to be honest, he got handled too. They talked about how, yeah, Max hit him with the welcome to the NFL. Yeah, well, I can assure you there are some plays. Don't get me wrong, he held his own, but there are absolutely some plays on that tape that will show you he was getting manhandled. Yeah, he was absolutely getting manhandled. So a few times, right? Run plays, his guy's in on the tackle. If he holds that block, creates a little more separation. Who knows what can happen? A couple of those kind of plays for the offensive line, but again, right, still working out things. People are getting used to, hitting other people now, right? Going for real, for real. All those things matter. It's going to take some time. That's why you get 3. Some people get 4, right? Preseason games. I believe we had 4 last year. So, yeah, I was very happy with our offense, our defense. I mean, we're picking at straws, to be honest, when it comes to a lot. I mean, there's so much we can cover with this game. As far as what you liked, what you didn't like, you can go from every position, right? Defense played well, pick 6. Palo Alto, right? Got to be excited about that. Should have had other picks, right? Got to be mad about that. Clean that up. You know, our rookie O'Connell. Keep telling you guys, the kid's a baller. I absolutely think he's a baller. I don't, you know, I just, I think he's our quarterback for the future. I think uh, McDaniels definitely has exactly the type of quarterback that fits his system. There were a few throws. Again, obviously, if you were paying attention to tape and other people's videos and guys that really can break things down properly and give you the goods, you'll see he blew a couple of the very first play he blew. It's wide open. Excuse me, who was the kid? I want to say it was Tucker, but wide open. Ducked it out of bounds. It made no sense. Terrible throw. And then he had a couple of others, right? Nothing huge, but obviously, you got to make those plays. Absolutely got to make those plays. No receiver gets that wide in the NFL for you to not at least get it to him for a catch, let alone touchdown. So, obviously nobody's perfect. Not everybody did well on every single play. Again, that's the playoffs. And that's just football and life in general, right? Nobody's getting perfect. You're not gonna find many perfect games for much of any sport. So I thought overall, great job. Perfect job uh leading us into the last game of the season. As far preseason, excuse me, as far as Dallas, and I think that's going to be an interesting game. I have to admit, I haven't been giving Dallas enough credit. Shout out to my guy Spence. Call him my secret weapon. Talk football, but yeah, I gotta be honest. I was supposed to have one of these Cowboy fans up here. Kind of glad I don't because I'm saying this. With my luck, he's probably listening or something's gonna pop up. But no, I gotta give props where props are due. Some people think you guys win the division. Some people think you guys easily get past the Eagles this year. Might sweep them. I don't see it that way, but some people do. I find that interesting. What I do understand is that you have a fabulous defense. You got Diggs on one side, you got Gilmore on the other, you got Parsons, basically the closest thing you've seen to Lawrence Taylor since Lawrence Taylor. Yeah, I don't know what to say. That's gonna be a rough defense to play against. Clearly, we're not gonna play against it come Sunday. I doubt it. And even if it's for a series, but I don't think they'll do that. I hope that we do it as far as all of our players. Again, I don't. I, when I was growing up and you had preseason, the first game, your starters would play maybe a quarter, less than a quarter, a quarter. Second game, be closer to a half, right? Right. Third game, it was definitely a half. In the fourth game, you might have even gone into the fourth quarter. That's how it was when I was growing up. Please, somebody, please tell me if I'm wrong, but that's absolutely what it was when I was growing up. And it's the exact opposite now. Like you don't play them at all, and then you wonder why the offense. Offense should always be out the gate faster and better than the defense. You know what you're doing, the defense doesn't, right? It's just, there's no tape on you other than last year's tape. Clearly, you're not doing what you did last year. It's just, right. It takes weeks for defense to catch up. Usually takes weeks. So the reality is, you know what I mean? You need to play. You need to play these preseason games and get that, gel going and people bonding a little bit out there when it comes to how they're going to play certain things. All of that stuff you gain in the course of a season. You don't just come out the gates, particularly defensively. Making sure that you trust everybody to do their job and not try to cheat, cover, do things that kind of leave you a little bit vulnerable, if you will. And that's one of those things that you got to be careful of, but at the same time, you get all of that stuff worked out during these preseasons. So I think it would benefit to play more. It is what it is. They did it back in the day. In fact, like I said, they even went through the fourth quarter. It just depended. But now we got more games, right? To that defense. It definitely wasn't 17 games like back in the day. So yeah, it was a little different. And obviously every game had to count because there wasn't as many games, so you didn't have many chances to lose, if you will. But yeah, um, that's preseason, ladies and gentlemen. It's we got this week left. I doubt they play much. Right? Again, you're gonna get all the rookies out there that haven't made it yet, guys that are looking to fight, and you're gonna see some passion out there. These people are absolutely about to play ball. That's on both sides of the fence, the Cowboys and the Raiders side. These people are fighting to feed their families. You best believe they're about to be out there busting it in. Like, yep. So it's gonna be interesting. I'm excited. I can't wait to go to Jerry World again. I didn't go last year. Maybe the year before. But yeah, I didn't go last year to Jerry World. So this will be fun. It should be a good time. I know quite a few people that's going to this game as well. Quite a few Raider fans. We got some big chapters. In fact, it wouldn't shock me at all if there's more Raider fans than Cowboy fans at this one. Uh, yeah, there's a lot that's different this year, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad I'm getting this on tape. Yep, it is Tuesday, August 22nd, 2023. And listen to when I tell you that it's a little different. It's a little different. It's a little different right now. Even if our record is the same, I have a feeling that people won't be looking at us the same anymore. I think the jokes are going to start to cease and desist, if you will, because I think we are on to something. I absolutely think we are on to something. We just need a couple of more drafts, right, to fill the coffins, as they say, and really be able to have that next man up mentality to where, yep, absolutely, we got our stars, our people, but truth be told, the whole farm isn't mortgaged because one person gets hurt, right? And that goes for the quarterback position as well. Let's keep it 100. I don't, we can go through this now here in a second. Uh, have this conversation and see what see what you have in mind as far as what your thoughts are when you're watching this. But I, I think we're pretty solid. I mean, there's definitely some improvement we can have on the offensive line, and I'm talking offense here specifically. We definitely can improve on the offensive line 100%. Parker being out definitely hurts. He knew the system. For whatever reason, they definitely felt like he was, gaining on, getting better and being something formidable out there and out for the season. So, those are two guys that Walter obviously was very different for me. That was my guy. A lot of people know that. It's just because of the way he plays. I mean, I'm just telling you, you watch the kid play. He plays. I'm a fan. If you ever hear, sir, you have a fan. I'm one of your biggest fans. Absolutely. I love the way you run. I love the way you practice everything. You were the highlight for the training camp for me. I went on the 29th, right? July, fight day, 10 a.m. I was at training camp, and for the running backs, believe it or not, he was my bright spot. Yep. I love Sincere McCormick. I'm laughing because my guy Chris would protect the shield. Shout out to Protect the Shield. Yeah. He's gonna crack jokes on me about Sincere, but again, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about this roster here in a second. I just wanted to make sure I get all my little thoughts out before we run into that and close out the show. But yeah, I love the way the kid plays. So we'll see. It's a ACL only, I think. So I expect them to come back even better. So it's the way this stuff works nowadays when it comes to ACLs. They used to be death sentences, and now they're almost a rite of passage. I don't know. It is what it is. The human body's crazy. People are crazy this day and age when it comes to athleticism, strength, ability, etc. Human body's amazing, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, so yeah, let's just hop right on into it. Yeah, let's go on and pick up the screen here. Hold up. There we go. Yeah, let's check this out. Start off right at the top. Wide receivers. I don't even know how. Yeah, this is not completely. Oh, there we go. I was wondering. I was like, hold on. I'm not seeing what I expect to see. But yeah, let's start out with obviously WR1, wide receiver one. Devontae, Philip Dorsett. I see those two. Keelan Cole, I like him, but it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Real tough. Cam Sims, nope, nope, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not at all. Um, I just don't. Mm-mm. Sorry. I just if Butterfingers, yeah, I'm not even going. No Cam Sims. No Cam Sims. He's gone. Left tackle, Colt Miller. He'll start. Um, yeah, he'll absolutely start. Justin Aaron, right? We kind of light. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Can he beat out? Dalton Wagner. Definitely not beating out Mumford or Illuminor, right? So, uh, I don't know. He'll be. I think that's what you're gonna see between Justin and Dalton, right? I think those are the. I don't think they're gonna make it. I mean, it depends on how many we keep, right? If we're keeping 4, 3, right? If you're gonna talk about guards as well, I mean, clearly we're gonna keep Van Rotten, Bars, left guard, and Dillon and Moody. I think, right? So it's gonna be tough, man. I don't know how many we're gonna keep. I don't know how many they expect to keep. Eventually, I'll figure that part out and give my picks hopefully before the Raiders actually do their selection and see how close I am. But yeah, Andre James, obviously, Grasu, obviously, right? I think that's typical to be expected. Now we go to this tight end situation. It's already been said that Mayer is going to be number one, so this chart is probably a little old, or it's just right lined up based on position. Back right before they made this change, because I think we all know it'll be Hooper, Mayer, and probably Jesper Horsted. I don't even know about these other guys. Hollister, obviously, who's done pretty well but won't make it. I don't. Again, this is probably old. Um, not too old, but old. Yeah. And then we go to the other side on wide receiver two, Jacoby Myers. Clearly, DeAndre Carter is also looking good. Lacey Zuber, right? You got Slot Hunter, Trey Tucker. Come on, man. I don't think you're gonna. I think that's your right wide receivers: Devontae Adams, Philip Dorsett, Jacoby Myers, Hunter Renfro, Trey Tucker, and DeAndre Carter. And if it comes down between DeAndre Carter and Trey Tucker, I think they'll keep Trey Tucker. That's my guess. But I think they'll keep both because I believe one of them will fit in the category of special teams, which allows them to keep right, give them that 2 for 1, or if you want, or if you will. That's just my guess, right? Again, like I said, hopefully we can get something out of it. Um, when it comes to them giving us at least what's the expectation, or I can go. I'll also what I can do is look back on the last year's setup, see how many they kept, right? It shouldn't change. I mean, maybe it changes, right? Who knows? Maybe they learn something about the other teams and they want to take advantage, right? Strategy is definitely sharp this day and age in the NFL, and you have to absolutely plan for any and everything, if you will. So maybe they're making changes as far as what they keep. But hey, that's what I think. Again, if we're talking wide receivers, Devontae, Dorsett, Myers, Carter, Hunter, and Tucker. That's my guess. I think everybody else goes home. Now we go to running backs. Yeah, right at 32. 32 minutes, 10 seconds. That's perfect. Because let's talk about running backs. Let's talk about what's going on right now. Jacobs. What are your thoughts on it? My thoughts are this. I think Josh Jacobs should have reported to camp already. I think I don't know. I think he should have just accepted, and it's easy for me to say this stuff, right, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, hey, Raider Nation, it's easy for all of us to say what we want to say, what we think, and how we just want him out there and playing, right? I mean, let's be real. But in all honesty, and even yes, I can say I would put myself in that position, and absolutely, it has nothing to do with not getting my worth or just because it's $10 million in market value for the position. It's getting paid a tad bit less than the highest player in the NFL for the position, where they are trying to diminish the cost. You know what they're trying to do. You are only playing into their hands on diminishing the cost in several ways. This is my thoughts on this. You've sat out, so now everybody's got an upper hand on you. Everybody's been through the bumps and the bruises. They're ready to get out there and ball game one. Game one. No worries on injuries. Is he ready? Has he got his wind? Wear and tear, right? Getting all the kinks out. You don't got to worry about none of that for everybody that's been in camp right now. Going into the final game, ready to make that 53-man roster and get it popping. Period. They know what they dealing with. They got coaches that's going to rotate their behinds in and out, and next man need to be prepared to run that rock or block, whatever it takes, or catch it out of the backfield. Bottom line, you are about to get a shot. And the writing was on the wall with the rest of the running backs and the rest of the teams in the NFL and how they were treating these running backs. What made you think you were going to be different? Because you had the more rushing yards? Like, again, let's go back to the stat. Let's be real. Don't get it twisted here. JJ, I'm on your side. I understand you got to do what you got to do. I'm just telling you from the perspective of GM slash right Raiders and how they have to look at this because you got Zamir, Abdul, Bolden, Britton Brown, Sincere McCormick, who is, I'm telling you right now, one of my favorites. And y'all can all laugh at me for that one. I don't know. Is one of my favorites. And then Damian Williams, which I'm just saying, man, I already rattled off the wide receivers. We've scored averaging 30 points a game. What do you want me to say? Like you're and then you're not getting paid for not, like you're only hurting yourself monetarily. I mean, I'm hoping that this is all just for right for show for us, right? For us commentators, for us content creators, and right the people to make, that's what I and that's where and I have people I obviously can talk to about this. It's just never something I've ever thought about. But is it one of those scenarios where you are playing the world? Like, all right, people, we know this is what we're doing, but this is how we're going to do it to stir up the drama. I don't know. It is what it is. But yeah, Josh, we're back to Josh. Josh Jacobs, number 8. That dude, that man. Listen, I'm just saying, you getting paid 10.1. I'm sure they would have given you 12, I mean 11, like the same deal that Barkley got easy. They probably would have gave you more, but for the year. Don't hate the player, hate the game. That's something we've had as a mantra for anything. Don't hate the player, hate the game, son. Collective bargaining agreement, whatever. I don't know what to tell you. I play linebacker. You'd be crazy as a corner or safety. I got Josh Jacobs. Like, no, real talk. I don't know what to say. Like, it is what it is, man. I mean, also the talent, because that's the thing, man. I mean, you can get a running back in the draft every year. And the bottom line and the truth and the reality is running back's career is it's a terrible position, man. It's a terrible position as far as wear and tear on your body, the abuse you take. It spits you, it eats you up and spits you out. It's a high risk, high reward situation. And the high risk always usually gets you in the end way sooner than you think. You know, I just put it to you this way. You give running back in the NFL 300 plus carries 3 years in a row. Do you really think you're going to get some production out of him in the fourth if he's been a productive all three? How do you not? You have to go off of the numbers, ladies and gentlemen. You have to go off of the numbers. You have to. You can't. You know what I mean? Give people money because of what they did in the past. That's another good one. I got a lot of what up, my dude, Will. Bill, I got a lot of slogans that I guess I can use or say. The one of the other ones is, "Look, man, nobody cares what you did last year. No one cares. No one's talking about what you did last year, sir. No one cares. No one wants to know. No one wants to discuss. Last year was last year. You didn't win anything. What are we going to do this year? How dedicated are you to this year?" And clearly, you can't be dedicated enough because you're not in camp because you want money. I get it. And I would agree to go for that money. It's just the worst time on the planet. It's like buying a car, Josh. Listen to what I tell you. I have a 17-year-old. Yeah, it's the worst time on the planet to buy a car. Lights already busted out. One background. Right. Ran into her teammate's dad's truck. Thank God that wasn't something super nice. Right. Yeah, I don't know what to say, man. It's the worst time on the planet to buy a car. It's the worst time. No one cares. No one cares about that. And you're absolutely right, man. He's not. It doesn't matter what he does. He's not going to be as productive. One, they won't allow it because I mean they already know it's putting him in jeopardy to really be lost. Like if you want to prolong Josh Jacobs' career for several years in the NFL, you pair him up with somebody, man, and maybe that is Zeus. I don't know. That's a whole nother conversation, man. Again, my guys had they probably still going right now. They got a channel going. My guys that I roll with, and I'm just telling you, they're talking about, you know what I'm saying, production and so forth when it comes to Jacobs and what we have and how we can. I don't know, man. I just think he's in a tough position. It's a bad situation. He needs to just keep playing, bro. You get 10 this year, you get 10 next year, and then you might get 20, 30. That's like 60, 50, 60. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know why. I don't, obviously. I'm not an agent. I don't, I just know that it's easy to see what these guys are doing. As far as the owners, however you want to put it, GMs, they're not going to pay. They're just not. Take it or leave it. Be mad. They're going to use this franchise tag as they're doing. All of them are going to do this. And that's the thing. Like, again, don't hate the player, hate the game. It's not their fault, especially when the position runs the way it does based on wear and tear. Linebackers no different. Think linebackers is different than no. Linebacker and running back are the two worst positions you can play. Two worst. Take the most abuse. You up against 300-pound linemen that run for you jamming you like two worst positions in the NFL. Period. So yeah. Yeah, you're right about that too. Bill. It is Zeke and Gurley's fault because they are the epitome of what happens after you pay a dude that has went off as a running back this day and age. It's very different than when we were. There are no Emmitt Smith here. That stuff is different. These guys on the defensive line are running 4.4s, 4.5s. 290, 310. You can't take that abuse, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot take that abuse. The body can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There's no way anybody's going to get me to believe. Why do you think it's very important? It's imperative to have the next man up mentality and concept as far as running the team. There's no other way to do it. You're looking at these running backs. There's 7 of them here. They'll start with 5, 4, right? In the fullback. I can assure you they'll be pulling one of these dudes off of the practice squad if that's what they decide. Um, I'm a little nervous. I don't know what they're gonna do, man. I don't know what they're gonna do. I think they might cut my guy Sincere, and it's not good. No, people think I'm just telling you, he is that other back that and it doesn't matter that he doesn't have burning speed and all. He compensates for the game as far as his wits, his smarts. He's like the Jerry Rice of the position, in my opinion. That's a lot. I know I'm saying now. I'm about to get smoked for that one. It's the truth, though, how I feel. I think Sincere McCormick can be that type of a player. I know he doesn't have a burning 40 time. He's not fast, but I don't think that matters when you know how to play the game of football for your position. Jerry Rice was not a burner. He was not fast, but he knew how to play his position. Um, I don't think you do the numbers that Sincere McCormick did, throughout his life, college, obviously, without having something pretty special. And I watched him play, so hey, I think he's done well in our preseason games. He's gotten a couple of touchdowns now, passing and running, maybe. I don't know. You guys tell me. I could be the crazy one, but we'll see. That's my thoughts though. Um, that is our offense, ladies and gentlemen. You got Jimmy G. Uh, you know, Brian, man, it's time for him to sit it on down. That's why I didn't even say much about the quarterbacks. Don't get me wrong, they're gonna get rid of Chase, right? I don't like that either. Um, in my opinion, they should get rid of Brian Hoyer and it should be Chase, Jimmy, and O'Connell. I think that's what it should be. That should be our 3 quarterbacks. Jimmy G starting, Aiden O'Connell backing up with Garbers right there. He's got the most tenure. So if you absolutely are going to the absolute worst option, at least it's a guy that's been there since you've been there. Um, you're not mad if you're starting your rookie. and yeah, Jimmy G, don't get hurt. Trust me, nobody's. And that's the other thing, Raider Nation. I I I don't know what to tell you. We've been crying and complaining about Jimmy G getting hurt and not making it the whole season. Does it matter now? Do you really care? And in fact, are some of you secretly wishing? Right? Hey, I'm asking it all. I'll get dark in this conversation because you guys always get dark on these players, man. And the bottom line and the truth is, I, you know, they're gonna do what they do, man. And they're gonna play to their best abilities. Right? Bottom line. I don't think Jimmy G's gonna have a problem. I think we understand as an offensive line what we're dealing with on Jimmy G. So we're gonna do everything we need to do to keep him upright. But yeah, man. Aiden O'Connell, wish Chase Garbers, but nope, it'll be Hoyer. He'll continue on his parade for being a player coach. And at some point he'll be part of the coaching staff. That's my guess, 2 cents on Brian Hoyer and his career. I think he wants to stick around. I don't think he's done from that respect as far as outside of football. I can see him being in the coaching ranks coming from that Belichick coaching tree. Yep, I can see it. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the offense, ladies and gentlemen. You know, let's talk about the defense. Gotta have a defense, right? Gotta have a defense. Hey, um, there's a lot to talk about here. Defensive ends, you know, that's obvious. Um, yeah, let's just go on through since they got it on the top, right? Max, Kuntz, I think those are obvious. Um, Rochelle, gone. I don't even think he's still there, anyways. Agoa, gone. I don't think he's still there. Tyree, I think we can all agree he'll probably be around. Um, Chandler Jones, for sure. Jordan Willis, Plant, Tarless. This could very well be like the absolute beginning. This could be a very like day one of right. Matter of fact, we can count it up and figure out that don't even know if I've even seen those guys in training camp, to be honest. But those are your DNs. Clearly, it's Crosby, Kuntz, Jones, Tyree, and then I don't know. I don't know, and they may only keep three. Right? I doubt it. They'll keep four. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what that looks like. Again, I haven't done my homework on that part. I just wanted to, just guesstimate come in. Like I say, next week we should have an absolute count. Like I say, some way, shape, or form. At least I'll have one, and then I can actually solidify my starting lineup, and I will absolutely showcase that before our first game in Donkeyland. Yeah, I'm excited. Woohoo! Yeah, I don't want to go to Donkeyland. Yeah, I hate Donkeyland. I don't like the donkeys, but yeah, I'll be going. I'll be going to Donkeyland. Yeah. So that's what I'm looking at. Defensive ends, right? Tackles. It's gonna be tough. Tillery is there. Um, Nichols, right? Byron Young, he ain't going nowhere. Butler, I don't know, man. Jenkins, right? There's just a lot. Again, this is one of those positions where I think we'll let go of his starter. I don't know if you recall back, what, 50 minutes ago, I stated we're going to let go of some starters. I think it'll be one in this defensive tackle group. One of these guys will eventually end up starting somewhere this year. I find that to be very true. I think that's one of the biggest spots of where we're going to lose somebody, and it's just not going to be comfortable because we know he's a starter, right? That should be good for everybody else that we keep. All I can say is you better believe everybody's going to have their eye on you. You make the squad and Nesta don't. I just want you to know everybody's going to have their eyes on you. That man has been moving mountains. Just saying. So, yeah, we need to make sure that that's something that's discussed within these ranks here because I think again this is one of the groups that I expect absolutely for a starter to come from, and it'll be that defensive tackle. Again, I said throughout the year, not get traded, dropped and picked up and start. No, I mean they will eventually throughout the season at some point start, as I've already stated, right? You get 53 people, they're gonna play. But yeah, that's where I think you're gonna see it. Linebacking group. I don't think you're going to see a whole lot. As far as what we lose, we're gonna keep everything that makes sense, right? Uh Connor, Drake Thomas. Drake Thomas actually he could be doing something. I mean Bolton, Butler, right? There's a lot of names on here. I don't know, right? I really can't tell you. It's not a group that I think will have a starter leave and go. It could easily happen, right, ladies and gentlemen? It could easily happen. I don't know. Um, but I don't think so. There's only two groups. I've already named one. And there's only one other group that I believe that we will actually cut a starter, which it still makes me just want to throw up. How do you cut it? How do you cut a starter? You know how you cut a starter because you're building your team right, ladies and gentlemen. When's the last time the Raiders cut a starter? Exactly. So without further ado, let's just dive right on into it. Right, we have our cornerbacks, our free and strong safeties. Let's keep it 100. Slot Nate Hobbs. Right, they got him first team on the flank. I don't, I don't know. Nate Hobbs clearly a keeper. Shout out to sis and family. Yeah, they attend the game, so he obviously was hurt. So, but yeah, um, cool peoples, good peoples. Nate Hobbs all day. Jacorian Bennett, the rookie. A lot of people got him starting alongside. You see it, Marcus Peters, right? That's your 1 and 2. Uh, Jacorian has been killing it. Very impressive in camp. Very impressive on film. Very impressive. Just in general, a killer. Um, yeah, he's special. I think. I think he has the ability to be special. Let's put it that way. Every rookie, right, can make a bad turn, regardless of if they're good, bad, or indifferent. So, but yeah, I think he has the ability to eventually, that speed, man. You don't, you can't teach that speed. So I have a feeling he's going to be special. You got Tyler Hall. I think he can make the squad. I think he can make the squad. Tyler Hall is nice. We've talked about Marcus Peters, Brandon Faison. Yo, it's gonna be tough, right? Because you got Tyler Hall, Nate Hobbs, Marcus Peter, and Jacorian Bennett. I think everybody else in this cornerback position is gonna be tough, man. Ike Brown, Amik Robertson hurts me to my heart. Brandon Faison, Azizi, Shelley, Sam Webb, and Cosby. Again, this is where I see a starter being let go. I see cornerback and defensive tackle positions letting go of a starter. They're gonna have to. They have too many. Yeah, you have never heard this from Raider Nation any year. Um, no, I don't think so. And right, I could be wrong. I have no idea. I don't know the stats on this stuff. I'm just talking up here. But for real, I'd be shocked if we don't let go a starter from one of those groups. I mean, and the truth is, it could also be free or strong safety. You know, Obviously we're keeping Marcus Epps. guy from Philly. We could use that winning mentality. Trayvon Moring, that's my guy. Pull him out. Hey, we all just saw what he just did. That was nothing short of awesome, right? So, I mean, I think Roderick Teamer, he's been around. I think that's what you have, right? Johnson, Chris Smith, Jaden Grant. Sorry, but I just don't. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't see those fitting. I see those. I see those four. Like I say, Morg, Paul Mao, Timur Apps. I don't see the other guys. So we'll see. We'll see. That is my defense. And believe it or not, that's where I see my starters coming from. As far as if somebody's going to start out of this thing. So, yeah, there you have it. Yeah. You hope they keep Sincere and drop Bolden. That would be nice. But see, the problem with that is Bolden is a vet that can do a lot. You can stick him in anywhere. He'll be ready, prepared, available. He's going to know everything to do. He can wear many hats. It's hard to get rid of a guy like Bolden for a Sincere when you're not quite sure he can do everything. Sincere is not he's not there yet. And look, I'm one of the biggest Sincere McCormick fans on the planet, man. He's just not there. Not a Bolden that's been in the league for 11 years that can play kickoff, punt return, kick return, running back, tight end probably. Like he can probably play, fullback. He can play. He he can play a lot of positions and you don't have to do much of nothing. It's, everyone ladies and gentlemen, it's tough to build a team. It's really hard to build a team. You don't yeah. It's 53 men. It's 53 men. You get a first and a second stringer, basically, is what you're dealing with. First and a second stringer. That's it. You don't get anything else. You got to build that properly. You got to have some Swiss Army knives up in that piece. Bolden is a Swiss Army knife. He can be squeezed in anywhere by any means necessary at all costs, and you're going to get production. Yep. So, you know, and he's a good coach. Excuse me. He's a good player coach. You don't think he's out there mentoring these young rookies? Come on, man. He's in the league he's in the league a decade. Getting called grandpa. Trust me. Bottom line is, yeah, it's gonna be hard to knock him out. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for it. Let me bring it back up here. I'm all for it. I am all for Zamir White, Amir Abdullah, and Sincere McCormick to go along with Josh Jacobs. That's what I'm hoping. I don't see it. I don't see it. I mean, I don't even know if Brandon Bolden gonna make it himself. You got Jacobs, Zamir, and Amir Abdullah. I don't know what else to tell you. That might be what they go with. They may not even take Brandon Bolden or anybody else. Right. And if so, Britton Brown, he's another one. I don't know though. I don't know what they're gonna do, man. Right. We don't know what's up their sleeve just yet. But it's interesting. We got a lot of football left. The season hasn't started. I am excited. I think we absolutely have a better team than last year. And I absolutely think that we are going to do better than we did last year, along with a lot of people believe this as well. What I can tell you is that it's very different. I have all these recordings. I'm gonna clip these Mad Bama Jammas up and put them all out there in the universe when the time comes, so I can gloat. And I'm telling you, it's just different. It's just different. It's I think after 20 years too of just constantly losing, right? Like at some point you got to realize that, something's got to change and now it's finally changing regardless. Like it's just different. It's different. It's different, Raider Nation. And it's different in a good way. I can't stress that enough. I really think it's going in the right direction. I think we're getting the right pieces in place. It's still going to take some time. You got to remember, we're still paying people that haven't been on the team for years. Still paying people. Still paying people. That's a guarantee. That may not stop for a while, but after our third year drafting, I think we'll have that next man up mentality. Our 1 and 2 slots be pretty solid, and there won't be such a drastic drop off with 2. Yeah, that's my thoughts. I think that's the direction we're headed. So yeah, um, yeah, this has been a good one. This has been fun. We got the Cowgirls up next. I'll be there, and yeah, I can't wait to have that conversation right before. Like I say, that's that. We'll have that Tuesday conversation right before going into Donkey Land on Sunday. I think I get there Saturday. Who cares? Anyways, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Great show. T Crump is out of the building. Later, Raider Nation.